Hi, this is State Senator LG Sims. This is a recording of a recent Grant Accountability and Transparency Act certification training that we hosted recently via Zoom. I hope that you learned some tips here to help you become GATA certified. When the stay at home order is lifted, we hope to have more in person trainings. But for the time being, stay safe, stay home, and enjoy this video.
Hello, everyone. So we're going to get started. My name is Beverly Nall Holman, and I'm the certification specialist at Chatham Business Association. I want to welcome you all. We're going to start first by introductions. So I'm going to unmute you guys one by one. Starting with you first, Miss Minifield. Let us know who you are and which business or association you're with.
I am April Minifield. I am the administrative assistant for Pembroke Township. My supervisor is Brenda Miles.
All right. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. All right. Mr. Bill, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Earl Bell with Senator LG Sims' office.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Bill. Miss Watson, are you there? Miss Lanice Watson. All right. Are you there, Miss Minifield?
I am.
All
yes,
right.
I am. I'm here.
If you can for me, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell me which association you're with.
I am with Pembroke Township. My supervisor is Brenda Miles.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. Mr. Payne, you're up. Tell us who you are and where you're, which association you're with.
Yeah, good afternoon. Marcus Payne, invited by Mr. Bell, part of the Ideal Education Foundation, provide education support to local groups in the Chicagoland area. And my chair is on the line as well, Mr. John Lee, who I'm sure will introduce.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. This 708 number, you're unmuted. Give us your name and tell us where you're, which association you're with.
I'm John Lee, also with Ideal Education Foundation, along with Marcus Payne.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's you. You're on the, you're through the phone and I'm guessing on the computer.
Phone.
Okay, great. Did I get everyone? Looks like I got everyone. Mr. Burse.
Hello.
Hi.
With State Senator Sam's office.
Oh, great. Thanks for joining us. All right. Oh, and we have one more that's coming in now, Mrs. Sharon. Let me admit her right quick. Hey, Miss Sharon, are you there? Okay, she's coming up. And then we're going to get started. All right, and it looks like she's in. Hey, Miss Sharon. Do I have her? Oh, no, she's unmuted. Can you hear us, Miss Sharon? Miss Sharon, can you hear? She's trying to connect to the phone. Yeah, it looks like she's on the phone. Oh, you have to call in phone, Miss Sharon. Okay. All right. So it looks like Miss Sharon is tied up. She's on the line. I'm recording, guys. So we're gonna keep going. I think she's trying to connect. All right. So as we stated before, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the message box. And there is a designated time at the end of this presentation to answer all questions, okay? All right, we're gonna get started. I'm trying to wait on Miss Sharon. I think she's trying to get through on the phone. She's having some trouble, but I have to keep going. All right, so we're gonna first start off with the regarding the email I sent you guys. I got a packet. In this packet, it had a copy of the PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to present today. So if you have it, you can follow along. If not, I'm going to put it up, and we're going to get started. All right, so today we're here to talk about the Grant Accountability and Transparency Act, known in better circles as GATA. And GATA is the portal used by the government to keep track of who receives these funds, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do with them, and to do warrants for other programs that can be utilized by the Grant Accountability Act. So before we begin, and before you begin doing your registrations or registering other organizations or businesses, you must first ask these 3 questions. Does the entity I am trying to register have a DUNS number, an active SAM account, or a certificate of good standing with the Illinois Secretary of State? If you can't answer yes to all 3 questions, then you are not ready to register in the GATA system, okay? What is GATA? GATA is the Grant Accountability and Transparency Act, which is used to increase accountability and the transparency of the use of grant funds for the state of Illinois. It is also used to establish oversight in the selection and monitoring of grant recipients, to ensure the quality programs, and limit fraud, waste, and abuse of government funds. So that is what GATA is. And most businesses are mandated by the state to be registered in the GATA system to receive any grant or federal funding, okay? Grantee registration. All grantees must be registered with the state of Illinois. Grantee registration is completed by going to the following website and associating your illinois.gov account with your organization. So the first step is to create an illinois.gov account by visiting the GATA grantee portal at grantsillinois.gov/portal, and you create the account. Okay. And here are more instructions on how to create an illinois.gov account. Okay, I also sent you guys a copy of this in the email. So it's basically just signing up for any account like you do any other account. And then you will receive the verification email once you fully register.
Hey, Bill, did you share your screen?
Oh my God. Let me see. Let me go back. Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry. All right, here we go. Okay. Let's go. All right, so, and this is the form that I sent you guys, giving you step-by-step instructions on creating an illinois.gov public account. So in order to register in the GATA system, you have to create an illinois.gov public account first.
There you go.
You there, Ms. Sharon?
And now, yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick and tell us which organization you're with.
I'm sorry, I'm with, West Chesterfield Community Association is what I'm here representing today. And I work with State Senator L.G. Sims' office.
Great, great, great. All right, so we had got to the registration process as far as registering for the Illinois.gov account, which is needed to register in the GATA system. All right, moving along. So once you are able to access the GATA system, you will have to create an account within the GATA system as well. As you can see here, it's telling you you must first create the Illinois.gov account. So once you get to this screen, you will be prompted to create the account. It will go into your email. You will have to verify through the email. And once you come back in, it's going to take you here to sign in after you create your account. And to create the account is like your basic information when creating any other account. You will need the following information in order to create a new grantee account. To qualify for a grant award, an entity must first have a valid DUNS number, have a current active SAM account, not be on the federal excluded party list. You must be in good standing with the State of Illinois Secretary of State as applicable. You must not be on the Illinois Stop Payment list, and you must not be on the Department of Healthcare and Family Service Provider Sanction list. So if your registering entity does not comply with either of these requirements, then they will not be able to be GATA registered, okay? Once you create your account and you actually get into the portal, these are the required information that you will have to input in order to start the registration process. So as you see here, you will need to be able to verify the DUNS number. If you're not familiar with what the DUNS and the SAMs is, in that email I sent you guys, I also included, see if I can pull it up. Oh, God, it won't let me. All right, the grant and awards registration instruction document. And in this document, it details what the DUNS number is, what is needed for the DUNS. Also, what the SAM is and what is needed to register in the SAMs. And then,
Beverly, excuse me for interrupting. I'm having someone who's calling me who has trouble calling in. Is there a call-in number?
yes, it is.
Can you provide that to me so I can let them know?
Sure,
I apologize for jumping in like that. But
no problem. Charles, can you post that information in the comment box for me, please? The call-in number to this person. Thank you. Let me go back. I'm trying to go back. Ugh. All right. And of course, you're also going to need basic information, the organization's name, the correct address. One of the things to be mindful of when inputting this information is to make sure that the address that you're using for the business is the same address that is used for the taxpayers with the IRS. So those addresses have to match. I think that'll be valuably verified in one of the two previous processes, but if there's any issues, it's definitely going to come up in the GATI portal. It'll reject it immediately. So we have to make sure that that DUNS number, which is the number that is assigned to businesses that is used to track businesses for purposes more so of networking, especially with the city and state. When they looking for certain services or certain contractors, they go by the DUNS registration, okay? So it's very important to make sure that all the information is accurate and it matches to the taxpayer IRS information that they have on file, okay? And also you will need the primary email and the primary phone number. Okay, once you actually register and get into the system, this is the main menu. As you see here, this box right here is the status box, and it can keep track of the SAM account as well as any stop payments or any issues that's going on with that FIN number connected to that organization. So I also use GATA as a tracking tool as well. If any of my businesses have any issues or anything or something that comes up, I always refer back to their GATA just to see where the underlying issues are, okay? And that's a close up.
I'm sorry, I'm still waiting for him to respond. I'm waiting for him to respond to me. Oh, hold on, there he is. Hold on. Okay, Jennifer. Okay, it's 312. Hold on, am I muted?
Yeah, I just muted you, so she's fine. Okay, we're gonna continue on. Please make note that the organization must remain in good standing in all of these requirements in order to be GATA certified, in order to receive any funds, okay? After a successful entity registration, there are 2 requirements that are needed to keep an active registration. So after you're in the system, after the entity or business is registered and they are in good standing, there are 2 other requirements in order to keep their registration open. And that is that the entity must access the GATA portal at least 1 time a year per entity to complete the internal control questionnaire. And they must also complete the programmatic risk assessment. And that is 1 time per grant per life cycle, which is the life cycle of the grant. So after you are in good standing in the system, you have to go back in within a year's time to make sure you do the questionnaire or the assessment. It can affect your GATA, okay? So that's very important. And basically that is it when doing grant GATA registrations. You just have to be mindful of staying on top of keeping everything current and in good standing. I have some links here for the Granny portal, www.grantsillinois.gov portal. The website to access your DUNS information, to see if you have a DUNS number or to register for one, www.fedgov.dnb.com. Your SAM registration can be found at www.sam.gov, and the certificate of good standing on the Secretary of State website at ilsos.gov. Now we're going to switch back over to the packet that I sent over for you guys. We're going to go over
Can I ask a question, Beverly? Or did you say questions later?
questions at the end, Ms. Sharon.
Okay, thank you. I'll shut up now.
Just put it in the chat box and we'll answer it at the end of it.
Okay, all right.
All right, so here we have the certificate of good standing. We're going to briefly go over what it is and what it means. The certificate of good standing is a certificate that's issued by the Secretary of State, evidencing that a business has complied with the applicable provisions of the laws of the state and is in good standing and authorized to transact business or to conduct affairs within the state. To obtain a good standing certificate, your company must first be registered as a legal entity in your state, cannot be in default of corporate rules or suspended by the state, and must be current on all tax filings and obligations. What is the certificate of good standing used for? It is used to prove that a company is incorporated, organized, and authorized to do business within the state. Banks will often require such certificate from a business. So it is very important that the businesses or yourselves have a good certificate of standing with the state. It can affect the receiving of grants, and it can affect the licensing of the company. All right, so to search for the certificate of standing, one of the things that I realized is a lot of businesses they were not familiar with it. And so when they would go in and do an actual check, they would find that they already have a certificate and they are already in good standing without going through the process of receiving it. And that's because when you certify or license your business, depending on which avenue you take, they automatically put you, they automatically do a search and apply for the certificate of good standing. It sometimes depends, it comes along with the registering of the business, okay? And here's some more information on how to apply, and you can go online to cyberdrive.illinois to check and see if you have a certificate already on file. It's best to check because you might have and not even know it. Okay, so you guys can look over this information and you can have it just in case it comes up. And this is just a sample application for the request for your certificate of a good standing, and it's online. You can access it online. All right, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna go back now to the registration instructions, and I'm gonna briefly go over the processes for the DUNS. Now, as I stated at the beginning, in order to get to the process of even registering for the GATA, you have to already have a DUNS number and be active in the SAM system, okay? And if you're not familiar with the SAMs, the next step after obtaining the DUNS number is to create a SAM account and obtain a active registration in the SAM system. The SAM system is required, activation or having an active status in the SAM system is required to do business with the federal government. It is required to bid on government contracts and to receive payments made from contracts, grants, and any government financial assistance. So SAM is actually the payment tracking system when you're dealing with grants and dealing with the federal government. So it is important to be active in the SAM system. And in order to go to the next phase, which is the GATA, they have to be active in the SAM system. Most of the information that is needed to register for all three of these processes are basically the same. It may be maybe one or two things that are separately needed, but this document details everything that is needed. So it'll make it easier for you guys, okay? This second sheet that's attached is the little sheet that I use, and this sheet is what I use to keep track of the businesses and all of their information. This sheet has all of the information that is it's been compiled to one document, and you can use this one document to keep track of all of the processes for any individual entity that's trying to register. Okay, and another note is I want to bring to you guys to the attention the way I do my registrations is I do it remotely. So I meet with the business or entity one time and I gather all this information. So it's not a lot of back and forth with passwords and all of this. So I keep track of all of that. So I can go in and keep track of their statuses within these systems so they can have that time to do other things regarding their business. So this sheet is actually pretty helpful. So you guys have a copy of that. You can customize it any way you want, but it's an easy way to keep track of these accounts. Okay. And this is just for me because I help with registering for all three, but you can also just use it for the GATA as well. And this information is all the information that's going to be needed to do the registrations. And I think that is it. It's basically an easy process. The most roadblock you get is from the first two processes. Once you get the first two out of the way, then the GATA, it should already be ready to rock and roll. Okay. So now we're going to open the floor for questions. All right, and Patty, are you there? If
I'm here.
I'm trying to scroll up.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm trying to scroll this thing back up so I can. Do we have any questions, Patty? I can't see it.
No, it doesn't look like any came through.
Oh, great.
Unless someone
Sharon has a question. She
Yeah,
sent it
she did.
privately to me.
Oh.
She said, Beverly, if you have a DUNS number from a while ago, does it need to be renewed or application updates?
No, that if you were ever assigned a DUNS number is going to stay with that tax ID number or the FEN number. The only thing I can suggest is you go in the system from time to time and especially update your contact information. I had a lot of rejects from the GATA system because of the time in between getting the DUNS and then going for the GATA to when they went to the GATA. There was a lot of inconsistencies with either an address or a digit especially in the address. So we have to be mindful to make sure that everything is updated the same way it is with the IRS. Whatever address or whatever information the IRS has on file, that's the information that has to be submitted when you're doing the GATA. And to answer your question, no, that number stays with you along with that tax ID number. So the most you could do is just go in and update it, but it'll always be associated. Okay, so we don't have any more questions. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. That I'm guessing it means that I explained everything to where you guys can understand it and you will need to ask questions. However, if you do, please send the information to, yes, Ms. Minifield, I see. I think you were one of my late ads. So me or Ms. Sharon can definitely send out this packet to you. Okay, no problem. Okay. If you guys do happen to have any questions after this presentation, you have my email address. You can just shoot me a quick email. It's no problem at all. Okay.
And Mr. Bell has something he wants to say.
All right. I'm going to unmute you right quick, Mr. Bell. Let's see. All right. You're on, Mr. Bell.
Okay. Thanks everyone for getting on. The reason that we had this presentation is that in order to get any government funding from the state of Illinois, you must be registered in the GATA system for any business, okay? For our nonprofit groups, that means youth employment, that means construction projects that you may want funding from the state. You must have a GATA certification in order to get it. Now there's funding out here for various programs, and we're trying to tailor some of these dollars to come back in our community. But in order to do this, everyone must be GATA certified. If you GATA certified, then that's a step up to help us, to help you.
Yes, sir. Well said. Well said, Mr. Bell. Yeah, so it's very important for the business. And the sad thing is a lot of businesses a lot of entities, they never heard of it. They, you know, and that's because some businesses don't even get to that point to even know about grants that are offered, you know. So I think this is a very important thing. And hopefully I can do more of these, and hopefully we can do other things to get this information out to businesses so they can get the grant and funding that they need, okay? All right, yep, so 40 minutes, that's what I was looking for. All right, so that is it, guys. I tried to make it as simple as possible. I don't want to take up any of your time. And on behalf of Chatham Business Association, we want to thank you guys, and we pray that you guys are being safe in this time. Our lines are always open because we're working from home. So if you have any questions regarding the business, and especially regarding the COVID relief packages and programs that they have out, please just feel free to call the office, okay? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Patty. Patty, you have any last remarks or anything? We'll close out.
No, I'll just echo what Bev said. Thank you so much for joining us today. And please, if you have any questions, or you get in the process and you find a stumbling block, or you run into anything that's like, wait, she didn't discuss this, you know, or if it's a unique issue to a certain individual, please feel free to contact us at any time, and we will help to the best of our ability to get through that. And if you know of any businesses or anyone that you can't personally assist, or that we all get overwhelmed, or if it's too much happening at one time and there are businesses that need assistance, please refer them to us. We are here and ready to help. Not that we're waiting, you know, we have a lot to do, but we are here and we're ready to help. So please be sure to keep us in mind. And everybody, again, like Bev said, be safe. Stay at home.
Stay at home. All right. All right. Hope to hear from some of you guys real soon, and good luck with the registration, okay?